To the men and women of the armed forces who made the ultimate sacrifice in the name of freedom, I salute you on this Memorial Day. Hello YouTube, this is Travis Dunn with MDL, coming to you May 24th, 2015. So, since I have been talking so much about how much I love Coke in a bottle, I decided that's what I'm going to drink today. And these actually require, if I can get underneath it, I actually use an old-fashioned bottle opener. I do love them in the bottles. Nice and cold, just the way I like it. So, apparently we had the dates wrong for the Budweiser Clydesdales, and it's actually next weekend, not this weekend. So obviously, as you can tell, my vlog is on time. Next week, however, it will be probably late, because I won't probably get home until either very late Sunday, you know, just the way it usually works. But I'll be taking pictures, probably taking some video if I'm allowed to do that, and I'll get some of those posted up next week as well. So we've got the schedule set up for Girl Scouts activities for the summer. We're going to go to Long's Retreat for our camping trip. We rented 5 cabins, and it should be a lot more fun than we've had in the past. Better than roughing it. These have air conditioning. Most of them have indoor plumbing and toilets and whatnot. So definitely will be a lot more fun, at least for me anyway. I don't like to rough it too much. I can't sleep with it out. I can't sleep outside. Anyway, so we're also going to do the zoo. We're going to do COSI. We're going to go to the beach water park. The girls have a concert to go to, and we got a couple other activities planned for the summer. So unfortunately, I am not going to have very many open weekends, which kind of sucks. But pretty much every one of my short weekends is going to be tied up doing something. And then right about the time that wraps up, you know, we're going to be getting back into school, possibly into sports, and my son's wanting to play football, and I'm kind of hoping he actually does. So that's pretty much where we're at as far as Girl Scouts. Now, obviously, since I didn't go down to Chillicothe this weekend, it means I got to sort of keep my promise about getting the pool ready. And I'll post up some pictures, and well, there, wherever it ends up in the video. Yeah, I managed to get it tore down. I put a new sand bottom in it and put it all back together. And needless to say, it was pretty nasty. And so that's one of the other reasons why I tore it completely down, because it was the only way I was going to get all the nasty water and dirt. And because of the way the dirt had settled, I'd only just put a tarp down when I originally set the pool, and I wanted to. And it was really, really jagged, and I wanted to put some sand down and create a nice soft bottom for the pool, so hopefully the liner will definitely last a lot longer. And I was a little concerned that some of those might puncture the liner if you know, with continued the way it was. So it ended up being about 1,500 pounds of play sand, and Home Depot had it on sale for $2.50 a bag. And I bought the first 1,000 pounds, and I just kind of ratted a number off. It was like, oh, how many do you want? 20 bags. You know, sounded like a nice, good round number. And me and Summer sitting there waiting, and it took a while because they had to go in the back and get it and pull it down from the rafters. And him and I got to thinking, you know, they're 50 pounds a piece times 20 bags. Oh, crap, that's 1,000 pounds. I wasn't even sure I could get 1,000 pounds in my little car. Needless to say, we did get 1,000 pounds in my car, but I was riding pretty low. It was, I'd like to lower my car, but not quite that low. I couldn't even get my hand couldn't even get on top of the tire and the fender well. It was that far down, and I'll post a picture of the video of of that. Yeah, anytime they want to sponsor and give me free bottles of Coke or Pepsi, or as long as it's in the glass bottles, I will gladly take a sponsorship of that. So I ended up having to go back though and get about I had to get another 10 bags, another 500 pounds. Now the 500 pounds actually put the car right about the height that I kind of like to have the car setting at. It was about 1.5 inches lower than stock. And I still, even with the 1,000 pounds, I mean, I didn't have a ton of suspension travel left, but I did have some, which actually kind of surprised me. I figured that car would be bottoming out all the way home. But the 1.5 inch drop, that was actually right in kind of the sweet spot. I could just get my hand in between the tire and the fender. And so I think that's going to be roughly about the number I'm going to shoot for when I actually look to lowering the car. I thought it was kind of interesting though when I'm sitting there and the car is just kind of rocking back, and I was just like, okay. I was being really slow and taking my time, and because obviously I didn't want 1,000 pounds of sand coming in the back of my head should I have to make a quick stop. So, but the pool is set up. It's about 3/4 filled as of Sunday. So by Monday, sometime in the afternoon, it should be plenty full, and I should get the pump started. I already put some chemicals in it, and I've got some more I'm probably going to end up putting in it, obviously, to get it started. So I did, like I said, sort of keep my promise. My daughter wanted it up by Memorial Day, and it is up. So, but she did help out. I was happy that she helped out and helped get it all scrubbed and cleaned and vacuum out the last little bit of dirt and grime once we got it put back together. So, gonna try to actually spend some time in that pool this summer and actually get to enjoy it, because I didn't, for whatever reason, last summer. I just didn't. Seemed like every time I was working kind of crazy hours at that point, and I hadn't got used to the new schedule, so I was like, I was sleeping all the time, and I just didn't feel like getting in the pool most of the time. So this year I plan on spending some time in the pool and actually getting to enjoy it. I got a lot of money invested in it, so I need to really spend some time to enjoy it. Speaking of money, Thursday night I was having a kind of a boring moment for a couple hours at work, and I was just looking on Amazon, and I saw the 30-tooth transmission gear, the one I keep talking about for the bike. It was on sale through a place for $117 with shipping. It's normally about $135, plus shipping. So I was like, I really shouldn't spend the money. My wife's going to kill me, and I'm sure she's still ticked off at me about it. But yeah, so I ordered it on Thursday night. It actually arrived yesterday on Saturday. Obviously I was so busy with the pool, I didn't get and it kind of came late in the afternoon, so I didn't get a chance to even do more than open the package and just look at it. And so so on Sunday I had a little time, and I was kind of like, I didn't want to do something, but I did want to do something. So I was like, well, you know what, I'm going to take what I need apart and try to get that pulley on. So I got it all everything, kind of unattached and pulled off, and the covers and the exhaust and all that good stuff. And I knew the socket was big. I knew it required a pretty good size socket for the nut on the pulley. And I thought, I've got all kinds of crazy weird sockets. I mean, I got sockets up into the 30 millimeter-ish. Like I said, I got some pretty decent sized sockets. Ones I'll probably use once or twice in my lifetime, but I have them. Well, it's like 1 7/8 inches, I think is what the size is. And needless to say, I don't have them that big. When you start getting into that big, you start getting into the 3/4 inch ratchets, and I've got the 1/2 inch, the 3/8, and the 1/4 inch, but I don't have any 3/4 inch. So I had to. I went to come around a couple of places. Unfortunately, Harbor Freight was closed, and I even stopped over at the auto parts store because I needed to get some thread locker anyway. Because I definitely want to use some thread locker on it. And they didn't have one that's big, and it's like, well, check over in Lowe's. And I thought, it's a long shot. If not, I'll go to Harbor Freight on Monday. Well, I went in and looked around. At first, I didn't see it at first, and then they had this one little section of about 5 or 6 big sockets in that 3/4 inch, and they did have. I obviously took the new nut with me, and they did have it in the right size, so I went ahead and bought it. It was kind of expensive, and I had to buy an adapter to go from 3/4 to 1/2 inch, because that's as big, 1/2 inch as big as I've got. There's a 1/2 inch or 3/4. Well, anyway, I have the 3 main sizes, but whatever the biggest of the main sizes are. This is the big size. This is the one you would see almost like if you're working on a semi or a big farm truck or a farm tractor. That's the kind of size this socket was. So like I said, I got the step down, which was also kind of expensive. Got it home, and I literally I stuck a breaker bar in between the swing arm and the wheel. I put the transmission in gear. I had kids sitting on the bike holding, just hammering on that front brake, and I tried to be held to yank up on that thing with my breaker bar, and didn't even budge. Didn't move at all. I tried to put a little bit of heat on it with my blowtorch. I didn't want to put a ton of heat on it. That didn't work either. So I'm afraid I'm probably going to have to get a cheater's bar put on that. But I'm a little worried because it's really not a big. It's not like a big thick nut. Gosh, well, I'm trying to think of. Yeah, if you're looking at this, like you see the black part and you see the silver part, it's probably only about as thick as the silver part. And I know that's probably not the best representation, but it's really small as far as its thickness. But yeah, I'm probably, like I said, I'm probably gonna have to do a cheater bar on it. It makes me nervous because I don't want to really. Obviously, I don't want to strip it because I would like to change the gear out. I also don't want to strip it and tear it up because my stepdad wants my 27 tooth pulley to put on his 883 so he can change his over to a belt drive. His is chain, and he's already got a wheel to go to belt drive. He just needs the front pulley and a belt. So yeah, he's looking forward to putting that on his. Though I really want him to finish getting the brakes fixed on his bike so we can actually go riding together. It seems like every time we turn around, it's like when I do have time and something's been wrong with his bike, and his bike's a little older, but he doesn't have as much money as mine is into it. So he's still fixing little things on it. And at the end of last season, I think it was the front caliper locked up and it warped the rotor, and so he's got to get a new. I think we're going to having to get a rebuild kit and rebuild that front caliper, and then you're going to have to get him a new rotor. So I got to sit down with him and look around. I've been sort of doing some preliminary looking at finding the parts and stuff to do the rebuild, and we're just going to have to make sure we got the right parts and get them ordered, and then sit down and do it together. So on Monday, I'll be my wife and the kid will be in the Groveport Memorial Day Parade with the Girl Scout troops. And I got my DSL all charged up and it's ready to go. So I'll be shooting all over the place, taking lots of pictures of the girls in the parade, and then all the girls will be putting flowers on all the graves, those at the local cemetery that served in the military. So, be looking forward to that. It's kind of one of those things. It's it's one of those just really heartfelt things that the girls get to do, and I enjoy it. I think it's an important thing for them to do. I also wanted to, for the end of my vlog today, there was a 13-year-old boy, passed away this last week. He was suffering from an autoimmune disease. He's actually from Canal, Winchester, so not very far from where I live. And his name was B. They called him B. Brock Johnson, I think his name was. I could be messing that up, but I apologize if I am. I'll post a picture of the T-shirts and stuff that they're making for the parents to help pay for the funeral expenses and all that. But the poor kid definitely had it rough, and finally, and unfortunately, he got sick, and I know a lot of kids are in the school are pretty torn up about it. But he got to meet some really cool, amazing people. Even he got to meet Robert Downey Jr. Met him. Obviously, if you know who I'm talking about, it's the actor that plays Iron Man. And he even got to go to the Ultron preview. So that was kind of cool. But like I said, kind of a somber thing to think about, especially for somebody like me whose parents got kids, and you hate to hear any parent have to go through that. And I just, like I said, it just kind of tears me up a little bit. I got lucky to have two, healthy, bratty, mouthy kids, and I love them, but you want to strangle them sometimes, and both of mine this week have definitely pushed that. But I do love them. But anyway, I think that's where I'm going to end my vlog for this week. Like I said, next week I'll hopefully I'll have that pulley on and tell you more about how I, my feelings on how it changes the bike. I'll have pictures from obviously the Memorial Day parade. I will have probably some pictures and video from the Clydesdales. So it'll be an interesting week. I'll be honest, I'm pretty exhausted. It was just a really, really, really rough week at work. And it ended kind of on a crappy note. It was the last night it wasn't so bad the rest of the week. It was steady, but it was kind of boring. But man, that last day, it's like everything that could go wrong did go wrong on the hot loads, and it just, oh my God, it's so horrible sometimes in trucking. And you thought it was it was a full moon or something, which it wasn't. And just as a last thing, speaking of motorcycles, I want to give a shout out to my friend Styx. Congratulations for getting your endorsement. She had decided this year she was going to get a motorcycle. She was going to ride and get her endorsement. Her husband been riding for some time, and she finally passed. She was struggling on a couple of attempts, so I'm really glad she managed to get her endorsement. I need to get mine. I'm probably going to do my permit for one more year, and then next spring I'm going to take the actual riding course so I can get my endorsement. But so that's where I'm at for now. I hope everybody has a great week, a wonderful holiday. Hopefully you get to enjoy some grilled out food. I've already grilled out twice this weekend so far. I don't know what I'm going to be doing for Monday just yet. So hopefully, like I said, everybody has a great week, has a great day. And like I said, my vlog next week will most likely be late. So have a great day. And this is me signing off.